Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We do have a special NVIDIA event coming up in just a few minutes' time. So we're going to be dedicating the whole of this show to an NVIDIA special. It's coming up in the next couple of minutes. We will be making a video out of it, which will go out later. So once we get everybody in, it'll probably be an hour-long video that I'm going to make. So we'll start that in just a couple of moments. If you are new to the show, please tap subscribe and ring the bell and give us a thumbs up. We will do an NVIDIA special in just a couple of moments. It's going to be an hour-long presentation. Very, very important information for you. Information you cannot afford to miss. This is fantastic. It's exactly as we expected. No surprises whatsoever. My portfolio is zipping back up again to an all-time high. Didn't buy anything. I didn't need to. I'm already in. Didn't sell anything. I didn't do any shorts. Didn't do any options. The whole Trump trade is all a load of nonsense. We're going to cover all of that in a moment as well. There's so much to cover in this show. We're just going to give everyone the chance to come in. Once we go over 100, we'll start. And of course, you'll be able to get the video as it's being made rather than catch it later. All right, let me bring all the comments in. Hi, Martyn. Hope you got some sleep today. No, I didn't. I will sleep after this show. I'm going to get an early night. It's been very, very tiring the last 24 hours, but thanks for asking. Did go to Starbucks, immediately had a drink, so thank you very much for that. Market shooting up. Yes, absolutely. No surprise, really. Hi, Martyn. How you doing, Stephen? Please subscribe to the music channel. Thank you, James, as always. Martyn, you're the man. Sending support from Arizona. Thank you for your diligence and generosity. Christopher Lamb, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, Liquid Skittle. Please talk again about Enovix, please, as the stock value. I can't do it today. If you want me to review a stock, become a member of the channel and I can review stocks for you from $1. But right now I've got some big news with NVIDIA. It's an NVIDIA special. That's what we're doing in a few moments. Afternoon, family. Wow, have you been getting NVIDIA? Wow, we have been getting NVIDIA spot on every week, fundamentals and charts. Thank you, Sensei. Are you able to call in and be part of this show, Sensei? I'm about to do an NVIDIA special. It'd be wonderful if you could be part of it. Let me know. Once we go over 100, we're up to 96, 99. Any moment now, we're going to start our NVIDIA special. It is an hour-long video, a lot going into this, so get ready. NVIDIA to the moon. We don't like using those phrases, but I appreciate that. Hi all, nice to see the market move up. Evening all. What? Oh, from a rainy Southampton. Gents and ladies and Martyn, how are you? Malk UK, lovely to have you here. So I'm just waiting for Sensei just to confirm. Sensei, would you be joining? Would you like to join me for this broadcast? It's okay if not. But if you are, just let me know now because we're over 105. So I'm about to start an NVIDIA special. Once I start, that'll be it. You'll be in or you'll be out. Sounds a bit brutal, but that's the way it is. Once I start, it'll be an unedited live action video. Hi, James. Johan, good afternoon. We're about to start an NVIDIA special. Hey there, folks. Good afternoon from California. Great crowd today. Look at this. No, unfortunately, I can't. Sorry, but the video I made on Sunday is still valid. Great. So thank you for that. So what I'll do, Sensei, is I'll line that up as well. Thank you. Let me bring that to everyone's attention. Let me line that up there. NVIDIA chart. Okay, spot on. Spot on. There it is. Okay, let's make a start then with an NVIDIA special. Okay, so we'll give everyone a countdown for what should we give, a 1 minute countdown? We're about to start an NVIDIA special. This will be an hour-long video. Buckle up. It will take us through the close, and we won't be ringing the bell. We'll ring the bell. We'll ring the bell. We'll put some sort of time codes in so we can ring the bell. But we're getting ready to start. So you might like to be in the video right now. So if you want to be in the making of this video, an NVIDIA special, I'm all lined up with Jensen and everything. And if you want to be in this video, you can leave a comment, a super thanks, a super chat. If you put the comment in, it will read it out as well during the making of this video, so you can have your say in the middle of it as well. So if you want to do that, you can. Right, without further ado, I think I'm going to make a start. All right, I've got a lot set up here, so we'll make a start now. All right. Okay, let's make a start. NVIDIA special coming your way. NVIDIA special, ticker symbol NVDA. Buckle up, get your popcorn, sit back, relax. Do not be in a rush, do not be in a hurry, because if you are the sort of person that's in a rush or in a hurry, this is not the channel for you. This is an investment channel where I never lose money. At least I've never lost money since I rebalanced back in January, and I'll never be losing money ever again. That is a guarantee. So if you are investing and you are an investor and you like NVIDIA and you like AI, you're in the right place. This is going to be at least a 1 hour video. You can catch it later if you've not watched it during the live, but I am making it during the live. I'm bringing you Jensen on the show. He's going to be talking in a few moments with a special information just literally a few moments ago. We're going to be looking at the chart. We're going to be looking at the fundamentals, talking to you about the market, the CPI, where the Fed's rate is going, exactly where I said it was going 18 months ago. Nothing has changed. All the market ups and downs, the debate last night, the Trump trade, the noise, the nonsense. This video, this broadcast is for investors, those that want to make money, never lose money, be happy, confident, sleep at night, who are taking their time to invest. If you want a 1 minute get rich quick scheme, this ain't for you. You should probably switch over now. So let's get into NVIDIA and the markets, because the two are very related together, but also very separate. So let's start from the very beginning. We're making this during a live broadcast. Please click subscribe and ring the bell if you like this content. I go live 12 hours a day. I aim to be, and the challenge is for myself, to be the most honest, real live channel on YouTube TV. That is my goal. Undersell, over-deliver, and here to serve the public. That is what I want to do. And at the end of the day, my wife tells me I've done a good thing today. Now, how much money I've made, that is of no interest to me whatsoever. Does not get me out of bed in the morning at all. That being said, you could now tap the like button. If you like this stream and we get over 100, it will share it out to more people. I'm making this live. More people will join in. But if you do tap the like button when you watch this video, that will also help. It's difficult for me to sell my videos because I don't sell my videos. I just tell you as it is, not the drama that others will tell you. That being said then, let's carry straight on. Let's bring the information up, the live ticker happening at the time, so you can see what was happening when I was making this video. Please do take note of what you see in the ticker. It provides lots of information and gives you warnings about trading and investing as well. So let's start. A few days ago, NVIDIA sold off. Everybody got upset. Some of you got liquidated. Some of you got margin called. Some of you got very upset with me and blamed me for your trades, even though I was buying NVIDIA when it was around about 80 bucks, through the S&P. I don't buy any individual stocks. I prefer the S&P for several reasons. One, integrity of the channel. It's not about me. It's about providing real information. So I cannot be accused of pumping and dumping because I only own the S&P. Two, it's by far the best value stock you can own right now. I recommend VU above SPY purely on a cost basis. Simple. I believe VU is going all the way, as will SPY, of course, all the way to a 3x by the end of the decade. I started with $5,000. All I want to do is live on the show, get to $1 million without shorting the stock, without doing options, with no stress and no drama. Here I am at 110,356. I am all in. $200,000 invested. My cash, the margin, my Roth gives me 200 grand. There you go. Will that take me to 1 million? Yes, it will. The dividends will cover the interest rate on margin. Margin will come down every month by 0.25% for the next 12 months. Will remain in a bull market for the next 12 months. So my cost basis for my margin will get cheaper and cheaper. And remember, before the rate hikes, margin on Robinhood was at 2%. Imagine it going that low. Fantastic. So I'm already in. I've already bought the market. I'm not buying anything. I don't need to. I don't need to sell. I don't need to stress. I'm going all the way to $1 million. My job now is just to stream to you every day, earn as much money as I can, but you as the focus, not the videos. Take care of the people. The money will take care of itself. I will earn money and I will continue to grow and hopefully will become the best live channel in the world. I believe we already are. We're just not discovered by most people, but we will be in time. 98% of our live viewers are members after all already. So I will continue to pay down my margin. Interest rates will get cheaper and cheaper. My profits will go up and up and up. My dividends will cover my margin. Then my dividends will make a profit. And I'll go all the way to $1 million without doing anything other than working on myself and investing on myself and paying down the margin. So that's my strategy. That's what we're doing. Many of you last week got all fearful when I said NVIDIA is going to $200. It is 100% more likely to surpass $200 after today's revelation, more like 220 within 12 months. So 200 is a conservative figure. Some are saying, as I will show you in a moment, $240 within 12 months. And it pays a big part in the S&P, about 6.7%. That's very, very nice indeed. So all of that is about to happen. We've got some more information today just out from Jensen. Last night, the debate revealed all kinds of issues. We were going into what was called the Trump trades. Let me share with you what I mean as we come on to NVIDIA, the details of NVIDIA. The Trump trade, that's gone completely down the toilet. Last night, people were pricing in before a Trump win. Trump may win, I don't know. Trump may lose, I don't know, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Trump media sold off. It sold off not because Trump might lose. It sold off because it's rubbish. It's not an investment. It has no value. It's a pile of poo. It's absolutely junk. The stock doesn't do anything, doesn't make any money. And if it was such a great stock to own and Trump was such an amazing person, and I'm not in any side, by the way, I'm on the side of my viewers, I'm on the side of investing, sound advice, why, oh why, when it pumps up with good news with Trump, why do the Trump supporters then dump it, which they do? Trump on his own rallies got people to buy the stock, which is technically illegal. Don't know how he gets away with it, but nevertheless, he does it. People bought the stock and then they dumped it. So if you really love Trump and you really love the stock, why on earth do you keep dumping it? As I've always said, it's an honor amongst thieves. There is no honor amongst thieves. The Trump trade is valueless. The Rumble stock is going down continually. Another Trump trade. This is one that's built its business on Donald Trump. Down, 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 down. Whether he wins or loses, it's irrelevant. The stock doesn't make any money. DJT doesn't make any money. So let's move on from that. And this is a good thing because it means the economy and the markets are strong. The economy and the market now doesn't care who wins the election. And this is good. This is good. Rumble trades on popularity. We don't want that. We want trading and investing on fundamentals, businesses that make money. Well, you can't get much better than NVIDIA. And today, it just got a whole lot better. And I'm going to explain. 240 now is being talked about. I'm now upgrading from 200 to 220 within 12 months. Don't shoot me if it only makes 200 though. All right? I'm just saying. Now, so we've moved on from the Trump trade. None of that's irrelevant. None of that's relevant anymore. Doesn't matter if Harris wins. It doesn't matter if Trump wins. The markets don't care. The economy, the United States, and the businesses within the United States are just too good. The innovation, the technology coming out of the US is just too good. And the opportunity of buying the US market is just too good. Now then, why did it sell off this morning? Well, that was very easy. 18 months ago, I made a prediction in the summer of 2024, we would get a rate cut. Rate cuts are coming Wednesday. We'll be here live. It'll be the biggest event ever on our channel. I'm expecting 40,000 people, which will make us probably the #1 channel in the world. Engagement ratio to the size of subscribers we have to viewers. Why? Because we provide the honest facts and it will not be pumping and dumping the stock. I don't own it. It won't be telling everybody the World War III is about to occur or it's going down 60%. It'll just be the facts so investors can watch and make an informed decision. Simple. So I believe we'll have the biggest percentage audience ratio to subscribers to viewers in the world next Wednesday. Join us. The market sold off this morning like the markets do. How many times have I said on the show that Wall Street are simply traders, not investors? Bloomberg, we've proved, are liars, manipulators, and just to sell TV. We see it every day. We see it everywhere we look, people manipulating the market. I don't do that. I tell you how it is because I want to be judged for being real and honest. That's why I'm here. That's why I do this. For no other reason whatsoever. The market sold off today as predicted because CPI, core price index, came in great. People were worried that the Fed have overdone it. They are behind the curve. They have potentially overdone it, all of which I've been saying for months. They're reading the lagging indicators. Europe, the UK, India, Canada, they're reading forward indicators. Surely the Fed should be looking forward when we are budgeting for the future, not looking backwards. I've never understood it, but it's what they do. So yes, they're behind the curve. However, the United States is not the UK. It's not Europe. It's not India. It's not Canada. It has the greatest businesses in the world. It's stronger. We say in England, when the UK, when the United States sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. It's very, very true. So the USA can afford to be behind the curve. So what happened this morning? We got CPI coming in great. Month on month, slightly up, but nothing really to worry about. Year on year, everything is as normal. We're not overheating and things aren't out of control. We're not losing too many jobs or gaining too many jobs. Everything is under control. And this is good. Markets simply go on what they know. They don't like uncertainty. They don't like not knowing who is going to win the election. However, now they don't care. They honestly don't care. How do I know this? Because I'm talking to CEOs all the time. I spent the last 3 hours in the lounge in between the shows on X, on Instagram, talking to CEOs, instructing their boards to buy back more shares. They believe in the economy. They believe in the business. And they don't care who wins now, Trump or Harris. They don't know who's going to win. No one does. They just don't care. So the market sold off this morning, as the market does, as an overreaction. What did I do? Nothing. It wasn't low enough for me to buy more. I knew it was going to go up, but I'm already, in it with my margin. Oh, hello.
Lawrence Teo donated 14 Singapore dollars and 98 cents through a super chat. It's a great day. Hope the family has been done well too. Cheers.
Thank you very much from Singapore. Very much appreciated. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate that. This will be in the video. I'm making a video now. So the markets overreacted, not because it was bad news, because it was good news, because they can drive it down to buy it back. Okay. And also, when they now know, what a surprise. I mean, these are supposed to be the smartest people on the planet. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. We're going to get a 0.25. Now we're going to get a half. We're going to get a 0.25. Now we're going to get a half. 0.25, half. 0.25, half. Over and over again. Bloomberg, CNBC can never make their mind up. My mind has never changed and it never will. Why? Because I'm not trying to sell videos and airtime. I'm telling you how it is. I'm telling you what I'm doing with my own money. So, the market sold off, bought back in. Oh, well, it wasn't that bad. Well, no, it wasn't, was it? There's a surprise. And now things are going to go up. Now we've eliminated, we don't care about the Trump trade, the Harris trade. We don't care who wins. The US economy is the business, I don't mean the economy, I mean the actual businesses I own, are so good. And the projections are so high, as I'm about to present with NVIDIA, 220, 240 now. I say 220, others are saying 240, at least 200. Because of all of this, we are gold. Now then, a warning. And I don't put warnings like Meet Kevin does. World War III, which is rubbish, not going to happen. It never will. Doesn't make any sense. World War I and II had some sense to those who wanted to start it. But World War III makes no sense to anyone. We're more likely to have an environmental disaster, which is more powerful than a World War III. So the economy is good. NVIDIA is good. Everything is fine. 3x by the end of the decade, $1 million. Why do I particularly like NVIDIA? Well, it's the leader of the S&P, right there with Microsoft. Enterprise money is going to bounce around within those top 7 stocks. I know this more than anyone because I'm on YouTube. I see the CPM rate going up every month. YouTube is paying me more money because the businesses are advertising more money on Google. They're strong. They're spending money with each other. So we can be confident that NVIDIA is going to do well. We can be confident that the markets are doing well. However, I'm not going to chase the stock. I didn't buy the dip today. It didn't go lower. I'm all in. I'm done. I don't need to do anything else now. Now, when I pay down my margin, what the hell? I'll buy some more. It'll be way up from where it is today, but it won't matter. I won't have any margin anymore, and I'll be so far up. I'll be 300% up at that point, or maybe not that quite that far. 200% by the time I pay my margin off. It won't matter what I buy because I'll only be buying the S&P and adding cream on the top of the cake. So let's now go into NVIDIA. The numbers, Jensen, live on the show. So has everyone tapped the like button? Have you all taken your, liked? Have you all sat down and relaxed? If you're watching this video later, have you allocated an hour or so to watch this video? I do hope so, because many of you only watch the first couple of minutes and go, I haven't got time. If you haven't got time to watch this information, you shouldn't be investing. If you can't spend an hour researching the stock in the easiest way possible, sitting watching me, I've done it for you, you shouldn't be investing and you don't know what you're doing and you're buying up on the way up, you're selling on the way down and you're getting all stressed and you don't know what's going on. That is not investing. So let's have a quick look and have a listen now to Jensen. This was just recorded an hour ago. I have it for you. I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to bring some commentary where required. I'll try and keep out of it as much as possible. And then I'll also show you some numbers, valuations, and why we can own this business, NVIDIA, and relax and enjoy it all the way to 200 and 220. If you want to go 240, who the hell cares? All right, are you ready? Okay, here we go. This is an audio, not video, so I'll be just listening in and presenting some images over the top. This is the NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang presents at Goldman Sachs, and I'll be making commentary along the way when required.
Good morning, good morning.
Thank you, good morning.
Doing?
Great to see everybody.
You know, I flew in late last night. I didn't really expect to be on stage at 7:20 in the morning, but, you know, seems everybody else did. So here we are, Jensen. Thank you for being here. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you all for being here. I hope everybody's been enjoying the conference. It's a fantastic event. Lots of great companies, a couple thousand people here, and so really terrific. And obviously, a real highlight and a real privilege to have Jensen, the President and CEO of NVIDIA here. Since you founded NVIDIA in 1993, you've pioneered accelerating computing. The company's invention of the GPU in 1999.
Now, some of you may know about the business that you own. However, doesn't do any harm to refresh your memory and listen to this. Because if you understand the business, and this is the problem with people, they don't understand AI, they don't understand the business. That's why they over leverage. That's why they sell out on the way down. That's why they panic to buy on the way up. You need to take the time to listen to this and understand the business you own. Don't trade it, own it. Let's return.
The growth of the PC gaming market, redefining computers and igniting the era of modern AI. Jensen holds a BSE degree from Oregon State University and an MSE degree from Stanford. And so I want to start by welcoming you, Jensen. Everybody please welcome Jensen to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to try to do this really casually, and I'm going to try to get you talking about some things that I know you're passionate about, but I just want to start 31 years ago, founded the company.
Could I ask everyone to please tap the like button? We're just coming up to 100 likes. If we get 100 likes, YouTube will share this out. More people will learn about NVIDIA. More people will invest in NVIDIA, because this is a very, very bullish video we're making here, and we're 89. So please do tap the like button. It would be very much appreciated. It will make me a couple of bucks. Really, that's all it will make me. Maybe this video will earn me about 20 bucks, I would estimate, and I'm happy to show you that afterwards. It's not about me, but I do want people to learn about this company so they invest wisely.
Transformed yourself from a gaming-centric GPU company to one that offers a broad range of hardware, software to the data center industry. And I'd just like you to start by talking a little bit about the journey. When you started, what were you thinking? How's it evolved? Because it's been a pretty extraordinary journey. And then maybe, you can, break from that and just talk a little bit as you position forward on your key priorities and how you're looking at the world going forward.
Yeah, Dave, it's great.
And it's very important to understand about Jensen, because when you buy a business, you employ the CEO. I want to know the company that I own is being managed by the best people. So I like to know who my CEO is. It's my CEO. I own the business. Important, right? Let's listen in.
The thing that we got right, I would say, is our vision that there would be another form of computing that could augment general purpose computing to solve problems that a general purpose instrument won't ever be good at. And that processor would start out doing something that was insanely hard for CPUs to do, and it was computer graphics. But that we would expand that over time to do other things. The first thing that we chose, of course, was image processing, which is complementary to computer graphics. We extended it to physics simulation because in the application domain that we selected, video games, you want it to be beautiful, but you also want it to be dynamic to create virtual worlds. We took step by step, and we took it into scientific computing beyond that. One of the first applications was molecular dynamic simulation. Another was seismic processing, which is basically inverse physics. Seismic processing is very similar to CT reconstruction, another form of inverse physics. And so we just took it step by step, reasoned about complementary types of algorithms, adjacent industries, kind of solved our way here, if you will. But the common vision at the time was that accelerated computing would be able to solve problems that are interesting. And that if we were able to keep the architecture consistent, meaning have an architecture where software that you develop today could run on a large install base that you've left behind, and the software that you created in the past would be accelerated even further by new technology. This way of thinking about architecture compatibility, creating large installed base, taking the software investment of the ecosystem along with us, that psychology started in 1993, and we carried it to this day, which is the reason why NVIDIA's CUDA has such a massive installed base, and that, because we always protected it. Protecting the investment of software developers has been the number one priority of our company since the very beginning. Going forward, some of the things that we solved along the way, of course, learning how to be a founder, learning how to be a CEO, learning how to conduct a business, learning how to build a company.
Not easy stuff.
These are all new skills, and we're just kind of like learning how to invent the modern computer gaming industry. NVIDIA, people don't know this, but NVIDIA is the largest installed base of video game architecture in the world. GeForce is some 300 million gamers in the world. Still growing incredibly well, super vibrant. And so I think every single time we had to go and enter into a new market, we had to learn new algorithms, new market dynamics, create new ecosystems. And the reason why we had to do that is because, unlike a general purpose computer, if you built that processor, then everything eventually just kind of works. But we're an accelerated computer, which means the question you have to ask yourself is, what do you accelerate? There's no such thing as a universal accelerator because,
Dig down on this a little bit deeper. Just talk about the differences between general purpose and accelerating computing.
If you look at software, out of your body of software that you wrote, there's a lot of file I/O. There's setting up the data structure. There's a part of the software inside which has some of the magic kernels, the magic algorithms. And these algorithms are different depending on whether it's computer graphics or image processing or whatever it happens to be. It could be fluids, it could be particles, it could be inverse physics, as I mentioned. It could be image domain type stuff, and so all these different algorithms are different. And if you created a processor that is somehow really, really good at those algorithms, and you complement the CPU where the CPU does, whatever it's good at, then theoretically you could take an application and speed it up tremendously. And the reason for that is because usually some 5-10% of the code represents 99.999% of the runtime. And so if you take that 5% of the code and you offloaded it on our accelerator, then technically you should be able to speed up the application 100 times. And it's not abnormal that we do that. It's not unusual. And so we'll speed up image processing by 500 times. And now we do data processing. Data processing is one of my favorite applications because almost everything related to machine learning, which is a data-driven way of doing software, data processing is involved. It could be SQL data processing, it could be Spark type of data processing, it could be vector database type of processing, all kinds of different ways of processing either unstructured data or structured data, which is data frames. And we accelerate the living daylights out of that. But in order to do that, you have to create that library, that fancy library on top. And in the case of computer graphics, we were fortunate to have Silicon Graphics' OpenGL and Microsoft DirectX. But outside of those, no libraries really existed. And so, for example, one of our most famous libraries is a library kind of like SQL is a library. SQL is a library for in-storage computing. We created a library called cuDNN. cuDNN is the world's first neural network computing library. And so we have cuDNN, we have cuOpt for combinatorial optimization, we have cuQuantum for quantum simulation and emulation, all kinds of different libraries, cuDF for data frame processing, for example, SQL. And so all these different libraries have to be invented that takes the algorithms that run in the application and refactor those algorithms in a way that our accelerators can run. And if you use those libraries, then you get 100x speed up.
Get much more speed.
Incredible. Yeah. And so the concept is simple, and it made a lot of sense. But the problem is, how do you go and invent all these algorithms and cause the video game industry to use it, write these algorithms, cause the entire seismic processing and energy industry to use it, write a new algorithm and cause the entire AI industry to use it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so these libraries, every single one of these libraries, first, we have to do the computer science. Second, we have to go do the ecosystem development. And we have to go convince everybody to use it, and then what kind of computers does it want to run on? You know, all the different computers are different. And so we just did it one domain after another domain after another domain. You know, we have a rich library for self-driving cars. We have a fantastic library for robotics. Incredible library for virtual screening, whether it's physics-based virtual screening or neural network-based virtual screening. Incredible library for climate tech. And so one domain after another domain. And so we have to go meet friends and, you know, create the market. And so what NVIDIA is really good at, as it turns out, is creating new markets. And we've done it for now so long that it seems like NVIDIA's accelerated computing is everywhere. Yeah. But we really had to do it one at a time, one industry at a time. Yeah.
So I know that many investors in the audience are super focused on the data center market, and it would be interesting to kind of get your perspective, the company's perspective, on the medium and long-term, you know, opportunity set. You know, obviously, your industry is enabling, you know, your term, the next industrial revolution. What are the challenges the industry faces? Talk a little bit about how you view, you know, the data center market as we sit here today.
There are two things that are happening at the same time, and it gets conflated, and it's helpful to tease apart. So the first thing, let's start with a condition where there's no AI at all. Well, in the world where there's no AI at all, general purpose computing has run out of steam still. And so we know that Dennard scaling, for all the people in the room that enjoy semiconductor physics, Dennard scaling and Meade-Conway's shrinking of transistors, scaling of transistors, and Dennard scaling of a, you know, ISO power increased performance, or ISO cost increasing performance, those days are over. And so we're not going to see CPUs, general purpose computers, that are going to be twice as fast every year ever again. We'll be lucky if we see it twice as fast every 10 years. Now, Moore's Law, remember back in the old days, Moore's Law was 10 times every 5 years, 100 times every 10 years. And so all we have to do is just wait for the CPUs to get faster. And as the world's data centers continue to process more information, CPUs got twice as fast every single year. And so we didn't see computation inflation. Mm-hmm. But now that's ended, we're seeing computation inflation. And so the thing that we have to do is we have to accelerate everything we can. You know, if you're doing SQL processing, accelerate that. If you're doing any kind of data processing at all, accelerate that. If you're creating an internet company and you have a recommender system, absolutely accelerate it. And they're now fully accelerated. This a few years ago was all running on CPUs, but now the world's largest data processing engine, which is a recommender system, is all accelerated now. And so if you have recommender systems, if you have search systems, any large-scale processing of any, you know, large amounts of data, you got to just accelerate that. And so the first thing that's going to happen is the world's $1 trillion of general-purpose data centers are going to get modernized into accelerated computing. That's going to happen no matter what. That's going to happen no matter what. And the reason for that is as I described, Moore's Law is over. And so the first dynamic you're going to see is the densification of computers. You know, these giant data centers are super inefficient because it's filled with air, and air is a lousy conductor of electricity. And so what we want to do is take that few, you know, call it 50, 100, 200 megawatt data center, which is sprawling, and you densify it into a really, really small data center. And so if you look at one of our server racks, you know, NVIDIA server racks look expensive, and it could be a couple of $1 million per rack, but it replaces thousands of nodes. the amazing thing is just the cables of connecting old general purpose computing systems cost more than replacing all of those and densifying into one rack. The benefit of densifying also is now that you've densified it, you can liquid cool it, because it's hard to liquid cool a data center that's very large, but you can liquid cool the data center that's very small. And so the first thing that we're doing is accelerating, modernizing data centers, accelerating it, densifying it, making it more energy efficient. You save money, you save power, you save, much more efficient. That's the first. If we just focused on that, that's the next 10 years. We'll just accelerate that. Now, of course, there's a second dynamic, is because of NVIDIA's accelerated computing brought such enormous cost reductions to computing. It's like in the last 10 years, instead of Moore's Law being 100x, we scaled computing by 1,000,000x in the last 10 years. And so the question is, what would you do different if your plane traveled 1,000,000 times faster? What would you do different if? And so all of a sudden, people said, hey, listen, why don't we just use computers to write software? Instead of us trying to figure out what the features are, instead of us trying to figure out what the algorithms are, we'll just give the data, all the predictive data to the computer and let it figure out what the algorithm is. Machine learning, generative AI. And so we did it in such large scale on so many different data domains that now computers understand not just how to process the data, but the meaning of the data. And because it understands multiple modalities at the same time, it can translate data. And so it can go from English to images, images to English, English to proteins, proteins to chemicals. And so because it understood all of the data at one time, it can now do all this translation we call generative AI. Large amount of text into small amount of text, small amount of text into large amount of text, and so on and so forth. We're now in this computer revolution. And now what's amazing is, so the first $1 trillion of data centers is going to get accelerated. It invented this new type of software called generative AI. This generative AI is not just a tool, it is a skill. And so this is the interesting thing. This is why a new industry has been created. And the reason for that is, if you look at the whole IT industry up until now, we've been making instruments and tools that people use. For the very first time, we're going to create skills that augment people. And so that's why people think that AI is going to expand beyond the $1 trillion of data centers.
I did mention it when you did it. Thank you.
And into the world of skills. So what's a skill? A digital chauffeur is a skill. Autonomous, a digital assembly line worker, robot. A digital customer service chatbot. Digital employee for planning NVIDIA supply chain. It could be that would be somebody that's a digital SAP agent. We use a lot of service now in our companies, and we have digital, employee service. And so now we have all these digital humans essentially, and that's the wave of AI that we're in now.
Please stand by. There's more from Jensen. Just wanted to jump in at this point and say to everybody, we are making a video here. It's an hour-long video. We are 3/4 of the way through. Excuse me. And there's more to come. There's some charts to come, more information. Someone just mentioned about, I think, Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. I'll come to that in a moment. Some good news there. And more news on the general economy. And the general economy is important because this stock is volatile. It always trades in a very volatile way, very meme-like way. But that's just opportunity for those who want to own the business. Let's carry on with Jensen, and we'll cover that. If you have not yet tapped the like button or subscribed, please do. Much appreciate that, very much indeed. Let's get back to our star guest.
It's definitely an ongoing debate in financial markets as to whether or not, as we continue to build this AI infrastructure, there is an adequate return on investment.
Yeah.
How would you assess customer ROI at this point in the cycle? And if you look back and you kind of think about, PCs, cloud computing, when they were at similar points in their adoption cycles, how did the ROIs, look then compared to where we are now as we continue to scale?
Yeah, fantastic. So let's take a look. before cloud, the major trend was virtualization, if you guys remember that. And virtualization basically said, let's take all of the hardware we have in the data center, let's virtualize it into essentially virtual data center, and then we could move workload across the data center instead of associating it directly to a particular computer. As a result, the tendency and the utilization of that data center improved. And we saw essentially a 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1, if you will, cost reduction in data centers overnight, virtualization. The second thing that we then said was after we virtualized it, we put that those virtual computers right into the cloud. As a result, multiple companies, not just one company's many applications, multiple companies can share the same resource. Another cost reduction. The utilization again went up. By the way, this last 10 years of all this stuff, 15 years of all this stuff happening, masked the fundamental dynamic which was happening underneath, which is Moore's Law ending. We found a 2x, another 2x in cost reduction, and it hid the end of the transistor scaling. It hid the transistor, the CPU scaling. And then all of a sudden, we already got the utilization cost reductions out of both of these things. We're now out. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why we see data center and computing inflation happening right now. And so the first thing that's happening is accelerated computing. And so it's not uncommon for you to take your data processing work, and there's this thing called Spark. Anyone who used Spark is probably the most used data processing engine in the world today. If you use Spark and you accelerate it with NVIDIA in the cloud, it's not unusual to see a 20 to 1 speed up. And so you're going to save 10, and you pay, of course, you get the NVIDIA GPU augments the CPU, so the computing cost goes up a little bit. Maybe it doubles, but you reduce the computing time by about 20 times. And so you get a 10x savings. Sure. And it's not unusual to see this kind of ROI for accelerated computing. So I would encourage all of you, everything that you can accelerate to accelerate, and then once you accelerate it, run it with GPUs. And so that's the instant ROI that you get by acceleration. Now, beyond that, the generative AI conversation is in the first wave of Gen AI, which is where the infrastructure players like ourselves and all the cloud service providers put the infrastructure in the cloud so that developers could use these machines to train the models or fine-tune the models, guardrail the models, so on and so forth. And the return on that is fantastic because the demand is so great that for every dollar that they spend with us translates to $5 worth of rentals. And that's happening, all over the world, and everything is all sold out. And so the demand for this is just incredible. Some of the applications that we already know about, of course, the famous ones, OpenAI's ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot or code generators that we use in our company, the productivity gains are just incredible. There's not one software engineer in our company today who don't use code generators, either the ones that we build ourselves for CUDA or USD, which is another language that we use in the company, or Verilog, or C and C++ and code generation. And so I think the days of every line of code being written by software engineers, those are completely over. And the idea that every one of our software engineers would essentially have companion digital engineers working with them 24/7, that's the future. And so, the way I look at NVIDIA, we have 32,000 employees, but those 32,000 employees are surrounded by, hopefully 100x more digital engineers. Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Lots of industries embracing this.
Yeah.
What use cases, industries are you most excited about?
Well, in our company, we use it for computer graphics. We can't do computer graphics anymore without artificial intelligence. We compute one pixel, we infer the other 32. It's incredible. And so we hallucinate, if you will, the other 32. And it looks temporally stable, it looks photorealistic, and the image quality is incredible, the performance is incredible. The amount of energy we save, computing one pixel takes a lot of energy, that's computation. inferencing the other 32 takes very little energy, and you can do it incredibly fast. So one of the takeaways there is AI isn't just about training the model. Of course, that's just the first step. It's about using the model. And so when you use the model, you save enormous amounts of energy. You save enormous amount of time, processing time. So we use it for computer graphics. If not for AI, we wouldn't be able to serve the autonomous vehicle industry. If not for AI, the work that we're doing in robotics, digital biology, just about every tech bio company that I meet these days are built on top of NVIDIA. And so they're using it for data processing or generating proteins or for new...
That seems like a super exciting space.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. Small molecule generation, virtual screening. I mean, just that whole space is going to get reinvented for the very first time with computer-aided drug discovery because of artificial intelligence. And so incredible work being done there.
Yeah. Talk about competition. Talk about your competitive moat. There's certainly group public and private companies looking to disrupt your leadership position. How do you think about your competitive moat?
Well, first of all, I think I would say several things that are very different about us. The first thing is to remember that AI is not about a chip. AI is about an infrastructure. Today's computing is not build a chip and people come buy your chips, put it into a computer. That's really kind of 1990s. The way that computers are built today, if you look at our new Blackwell system, we designed 7 different types of chips to create the system. Blackwell is one of them.
I was going to ask you to talk about Blackwell.
Yeah. And so the amazing thing is when you want to build this AI computer, people say words like supercluster, infrastructure, supercomputer, for good reason, because it's not a chip, it's not a computer per se. And so we're building entire data centers. By building the entire data center, if you just ever look at one of these superclusters, imagine the software that has to go into it to run it. There is no Microsoft Windows for it. Those days are over. So all the software that's inside that computer is completely bespoke. Somebody has to go write that. So the person who designs the chip and the company that designs that supercomputer, that supercluster, and all the software that goes into it, it makes sense that it's the same company because it'll be more optimized, it'll be more performant, more energy efficient, more cost effective. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is AI is about algorithms, and we're really, really good at understanding what is the algorithm, what's the implication to the computing stack underneath, and how do I distribute this computation across millions of processors, run it for days on end, with the computer being as resilient as possible, achieving great energy efficiency, getting the job done as fast as possible, so on and so forth. And so we're really, really good at that. And then lastly, in the end, AI is computing. AI is software running on computers. And we know that the most important thing for computers is install base, having the same architecture across every cloud, across on-prem to cloud, and having the same architecture available, whether you're building it in the cloud in your own supercomputer or trying to run it in your car or some robot or some PC, that having that same identical architecture that runs all the same software is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's called install base. And so the discipline that we've had for the last 30 years has really led to today, and it's the reason why the most obvious architecture to use if you were to start a company is to use NVIDIA's architecture, because we're in every cloud, we're anywhere you like to buy it, and whatever computer you pick up, so long as it says NVIDIA inside, you can take the software and run it.
Yeah. You're innovating at an incredibly fast pace. I want you to talk a little bit more about Blackwell. 4 times faster on training, 30 times faster inference than its predecessor, Hopper. It just seems like you're innovating at such a quick pace. Can you keep up this rapid pace of innovation? And when you think about your partners, how do your partners keep up with the pace of innovation you're delivering?
The pace of innovation, our basic methodology is to because remember, we're building an infrastructure. There's seven different chips. Each chip's rhythm is probably at best 2 years. At best 2 years. We could give it a midlife kicker every year, but architecturally, if you're coming up with a new architecture every 2 years, you're running at the speed of light. Okay, you're running insanely fast. Now we have 7 different chips, and they all contribute to the performance. And so we could innovate and bring a new AI cluster, a supercluster, to the market every single year that's better than the last generation, because we have so many different pieces to work around. And and the benefit of performance at the scale that we're doing, it directly translates to TCO. And so when Blackwell is 3 times the performance for somebody who has a given amount of power, say 1 gigawatt, that's 3 times more revenues. That performance translates to throughput. That throughput translates to revenues. And so for somebody who has a gigawatt of power to use, you get 3 times the revenues.
So we're just going to pause it there for a moment. More to get from Jensen. Very important. I paused it at that point because we are making this video during a live stream, and you can see my portfolio exploding exactly as predicted. And we are seconds away from the bell. And why I've paused it at this moment is because PPI is in the morning, and PPI is a lot less volatile. And now we know PPI is going to be fine. We know that. People will tell you all sorts of stuff overnight. People will go, it's going to go up 1,000,000%. And people will say, you're going to get bankrupt tomorrow morning and World War III will start again. And by the way, while you're here, sign up for my insurance, and my training program runs out tomorrow. Last coupon code. You're going to get that overnight. Rubbish. Nonsense. What's important is we go up into the close, after hours, PPI in the morning. Get ready for a very, very volatile FOMC report. Last ever chance to buy an undervalued NVIDIA. And that's coming up. So we're going to watch this now on the bell, and then we're going to return to Jensen. So, and I've also got a chart for you for NVIDIA. So stand by. I'm making it. This is a live show, but I'm making a video out of this. This will all be available for everybody that couldn't watch it in the other countries that we serve around the world. But here's the bell. 3, 2, 1. The bell has gone. We are in after hours. Let's just watch what happens here. We normally play our funky music, but we're not going to do that because I want to get straight back into Jensen. I've also got some news about Saudi Arabia and the upcoming market as well. Let's just watch for the first minute and a half, no more. We're still rallying after the bell, going into PPI, extremely bullish, nothing really selling. Carry on going. Don't be surprised if at 2 a.m., because NVIDIA trades 24 hours a day, 5 days a week on Robinhood. Don't be surprised if we see this pop at 2 a.m. I often get out of bed and to go to the restroom at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I often have a look, even though I'm not supposed to. I have a little look, and very often get a little trade at 2 a.m. in the morning. Anyway, let's just watch it just for a second. Still going up. 111. The all-time high is 113,000. So I'm going to be back to there very, very quickly. But there's going to be volatility. There still could be a 10% drop. Doesn't bother me at all. 10% drop is just people trading it again. I don't care. If it does go down 10%, I shall be using even more margin. But it hasn't gone low enough for me to turn on anymore. It's all about risk management. Okay, I think we've seen enough there. Don't think we need to wait much longer. It's a couple of minutes now after the close, and we're still going up. There's no real stress here. I'm not worried, and even if there is a 10% drop, the sentiment that we are going up after hours, knowing that PPI is in the morning, is very, very encouraging. So before we go back to Jensen, we want to hear his final remarks and where we are, what we're expecting from Blackwell, and these delays. You cannot afford to miss it. Has everyone tapped the like button? This is an hour-long video I'm making now during a live stream. Please do that. And consider subscribing as well. That would be very much appreciated. But here is the event that I'm just going to give to you now in the chat. This is on Wednesday. This is the event of the decade. It's not, I'm exaggerating a bit. It's the event since 3 years we started this channel. The market is going to finally see a reversal in policy. We're going to get a 0.25, not going to get a 0.5%. If we do get 0.5%, it's not a panic. That's why we've waited until September. We could have had the carry trade panic. We didn't. It could be a 0.5%. It's a chance. And the reason why is you can't increase afterwards. You can't go 0.25%, and oops, we didn't do enough. Let's do more. That's bad management. We don't want that. So Jerome could go 0.5% September, quarter in October, quarter in November, quarter in December, quarter in January, and we'll have rate cuts then for the rest of the year. Next year, be a bull market all the way through for 12 months. No question about it. Money's going to come into the market. So it could be a 0.5%, not because of a panic or a stress, but of course the market will interpret it like that. And that will be your last opportunity to get NVIDIA undervalued, as it will go down and it will be undervalued. I'm ready for it. I've got about $50,000, $60,000 more of margin to use if that should happen. Don't see it going to happen, but you never know. It's always worth being prepared. So this is the event here. Let me just take that out of there and give you the link. We've already got 159 likes. I'm expecting a 40,000 live stream people in here. There's the link. If you want to give it a like, bookmark it, leave a comment, get yourself ready. I see James has already done it, our #1 moderator. Thank you, James, always there. Please tap the like button, share it out. Let's get everyone watching this event, major event, and click notifications so you are reminded about this event. Right, we're now going to go back to Jensen. Let me just see how many of you are still watching me. 327. You've been with me the entire time, which is great. 100% watch rate of this video. This is going to be my best video of all time, even better than the NVIDIA earnings, which will be great. I appreciate it. Well, before we go and hear the rest of Jensen, we need to understand how this affects the economy and why we need to be prepared for FOMC report on Wednesday with our money. We need to be ready. We need to know what's going to happen, and we do know what's going to happen. Despite what everybody will tell you, we know what's going to happen. So I'm just going to read this through, and then I'm going to bring Jensen in for the last part, and we cannot afford to miss that. All right, so let's share with you here. This was just half an hour ago or so it's very, very new. The NASDAQ S&P turn up in volatile trade as investors digest smaller chance of big rate cut. Smaller chance. It was priced in that would get a 0.5%. Some want 0.5%. Those that want 0.5% can whistle. That isn't going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does happen, I'm prepared either way. It only benefits the Russell, the rubbish, the trash stocks. Don't care about those. I don't invest in those. I don't buy rubbish. I only buy quality. NVIDIA, Apple, anything like that, Amazon, they don't care. The S&P, they don't. None of that stuff cares about a 0.5 or a 0.25. Why? Because they have buckets of cash and they earn money when the rates are high. Doesn't matter to them. Does matter to the rubbish stocks. They're literally about to collapse and they want a 0.5% rate cut. I don't. I want stable and steady. If we do get 0.5%, it's for the reasons I gave a few moments ago. So there's no big rate cut in my book, but there could be. We need to be prepared for it. US stock market averages largely spun higher Wednesday as investors seemingly set aside reduced odds that the Federal Reserve will deliver a large interest rate cut this month after the August core consumer price index came in above estimates. But remember, the year on year is still improving. Keeping up with the volatility that September trade traditionally delivers. Again, people talk about September, terrible month, blah, blah, blah. It isn't. It's rubbish. It's not always a rubbish month. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. Oh, we get the rally, Santa rally. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't. Don't care about that. I care about buying the business. What traders do, I couldn't care less. They can go and whistle. Kicking up with the volatility the September trade traditionally delivers, the NASDAQ composite swung out of the red, aided NVIDIA and other chip stocks, and the benchmark S&P 500 slid into the green. Jensen just a moment away for his final remarks on Blackwell. Please stand by. This is important though, right? Not just NVIDIA. How does it relate to the stock market, the overall market. Wall Street's major averages had dropped sharply early Wednesday after the August CPI report showed core CPI, which strips out volatile food and energy prices, rose 0.3 month on month, higher than the 0.2 expected. So things weren't overheating, things weren't selling off too much, and so on and so forth. None of the fears of of labor markets and runaway numbers. All of it is business as usual. Only month on month, year on year, it's down. Remember that. For the Fed's meeting next week, odds of a large cut of 50 basis points fell to 15%, while the chance of a cut of 25 basis points increased to 85%. It's been 100% for me for 18 months. People keep flip-flopping up and down like a flipping yo-yo. One day it's up, one day it's down. I don't know what these people are doing other than trying to sell airtime wherever they are. If it weren't for sticky core services, this would be a very cold 50 basis points cut. Viral Patel, senior strategist at Vanda Research, said on a post on X. The Nasdaq Composite turned up again, up to gain 1.2. The S&P 500 0.2 and the Dow just down 0.13, pairing its loss. The technology sector, the S&P, led three other advanced groups, while the index's seven other sectors fell. Yields also looked up for firm direction during the session. The 10-year Treasury yield moved up 2 basis points to 3.67. The U.S. Treasury auctioned $39 billion of a 10-year notes at 3.648% high yield, compared with the 3.96% yield at the previous auction. The bid to cover ratio was 2.64 versus 2.32 demand previously. Let me scroll down. I'll get to this. Annual inflation decelerated in August to 2.5 from 2.9. Very confusing this. People still message me and say things aren't coming down. The rate of inflation, the rate of prices going up is slowing. Things are still more expensive. Things still cost you more money, but the rate that they're going up is slowing significantly. However, if we keep rates up for longer, this will fall. And some say it could even go below 2%, depending on how you read it. Forward-looking indicators, we are already below 2%, but that's another way. That's another story, another video. So things are still getting more expensive, but the idea is over time, wage increases without affecting inflation will grow into this, and things will then seem cheaper. But don't expect things to come down in price like we did on our video the other day. Your house you bought 100 years ago hasn't gone up in value. Money has simply been devalued. It's the same part of bricks. It's just worth thousands of percent more because money true value has gone down. Try and buy a house for $100 like you did 100 years ago, and you can't, can you? So your house hasn't really gone up in price. All houses have, because all money was devalued. Given the stickiness of services inflation, the Fed will likely be cut by 25 basis points in the upcoming meeting and reverse the potential for more aggressive action later this year. They don't mean more aggressive action as in 0.5, 0.5, 0.6, 1. No, it's just 0.25 steady for the next year every month, okay? I don't think there's much more. I did want to bring something in about NVIDIA. There's so much here. The video would be 2 hours long, and I don't want to do that. But I do want to bring you this news just before I bring Jensen back in to close. This has just come out half an hour ago, and I wanted to bring this to you as well. The US is considering NVIDIA chip exports to Saudi Arabia from NVIDIA. The US government is close to allowing NVIDIA to export its AI chips to Saudi Arabia. Boom. 210? I budgeted 210, 220 with the current numbers. This is extra revenue, extra business. I'm not covering that. I don't even care after that point. If I've doubled my money and now people are predicting 300, 400, I don't care about that. At that point, I just own the business forever. I'm not bothered. It's impossible to calculate what might happen year 2, 3, 4. But if the US government do release this, do allow this, of course, there's going to be even more profit for NVIDIA. It's just going to keep going. But I'm not bothered about that. If I can double, triple my money, I'm more than happy. To exports of AI chip to Saudi Arabia, news publication Semaphore reported, citing unnamed sources, that Saudi Arabia's AI summit gain held in Riyadh. We're going to leave it there. I don't want to go on any more about that because you get a lot of false information from Saudi Arabia. We've seen it with junk stocks like Lucid, FFIE. Everyone's all of a sudden doing deals with the Saudis, and I've exposed all of it as rubbish. But you never know, this might be real. And I'm sure from NVIDIA it probably is. However, I'm not going to calculate on that because I don't know that. I'm happy with $220. I'm happy with 200, quite frankly. So anyway, let me go back now to Jensen to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for all joining me during this making of the video. Do watch it later on, otherwise it will be pretty rubbish if no one watches it, right? Watch it again, just in case you missed a bit. Or maybe you just want to help me out. Help me out! I make nothing from a live video. I could have made this off air and got everyone to watch it. That's right, go with that. If I do it live, I don't make any money. I've shown you before. So what I want you to do is when this video comes out in a couple of hours, watch it again. Because if you don't, the video won't do very well, and I won't make any money. All right. Anyway, that's how it is. I'll just tell you the truth. Right. Let me play you the rest of this. Welcome back our guest, Jensen. Here we go.
Or discount on chips to make up for 3 times the revenues. And so the ability for us to deliver that much more performance through the integration of all these different parts and optimizing across the whole stack and optimizing across the whole cluster, we can now deliver better and better value at much higher rates. The opposite of that is equally true. For any amount of money you want to spend, so for ISO power, you get 3 times the revenues. For ISO spend, you get 3 times the performance, which is another way of saying cost reduction. And so we have the best perf per watt, which is your revenues. We have the best perf per TCO, which means your gross margins. And so we keep pushing this out to the marketplace. Customers get to benefit from that, not once every 2 years, and it's architecturally compatible. And so the software you developed yesterday will run tomorrow. The software you developed today will run across your entire installed base, so we can run incredibly fast. If every single architecture was different, then you can't do this. It takes a year just to cobble together a system.
Yeah.
Because we built everything together, the day we ship it to you, and you know it's pretty famous, somebody tweeted out that in 19 days after we shipped systems to them, they had a supercluster up and running. 19 days. You can't do that if you were cobbling together all these different chips and writing the software. You'll be lucky if you could do it in a year.
Yeah.
And so I think our ability to transfer our innovation pace to customers, getting more revenues, getting better gross margins, that's a fantastic thing.
The majority of your supply chain partners operate out of Asia, particularly Taiwan.
Yeah.
Given what's going on geopolitically, how are you thinking about that as you look forward?
Yeah, the Asia supply chain, as you know, is really, really sprawling and interconnected. People think that when we say GPUs, you know, because a long time ago, when I announced a new chip, a new generation of chips, I would hold up the chip, and so that was a new GPU. NVIDIA's new GPUs are 35,000 parts, weighs 80 pounds, you know, consumes 10,000 amps. When you rack it up, it weighs 3,000 pounds. You know, and so these GPUs are so complex. It's built like an electric car. You know, components like an electric car. And so the ecosystem is really diverse and really interconnected in Asia. We try to design diversity and redundancy into every aspect wherever we can. And then the last part of it is to have enough intellectual property in our company. In the event that we have to shift from one fab to another, we have the ability to do it. Maybe the process technology is not as great. Maybe we won't be able to get the same level of performance or cost, but we will be able to provide the supply. And so I think in the event anything were to happen, we should be able to pick up and fab it somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're fabbing it at TSMC because it's the world's best. Yeah. And it's the world's best not by a small margin. It's the world's best by incredible margin. And so not only just the long history of working with them, the great chemistry, their agility, the fact that they could scale. Remember NVIDIA last year's revenue had a major hockey stick. That major hockey stick wouldn't have been possible if not for the supply chain responding. Yeah. And so the agility of that supply chain, including TSMC, is incredible. And in just less than a year, we've scaled up CoWoS capacity tremendously. And we're going to have to scale it up even more next year and scale up even more the year after that. But nonetheless, the agility and their capability to respond to our needs is just incredible. And so we use them because they're great. But if necessary, of course, we can always bring up others.
Yeah. Company's incredibly well positioned. A lot of great stuff we've talked about. What do you worry about?
Well, our company works with every AI company in the world today. We're working with every single data center in the world today. I don't know one data center, one cloud service provider, one computer maker we're not working with. And so what comes with that is an enormous responsibility, and we have a lot of people on our shoulders, and everybody's counting on us, and demand is so great that delivery of our components and our technology and our infrastructure and software is really emotional for people. Because it directly affects their revenues, it directly affects their competitiveness, and so we probably have more emotional customers today and deservedly so. And if we could fulfill everybody's needs, then the emotion would go away. But it's very emotional. It's really tense. We've got a lot of responsibility on our shoulder, and we're trying to do the best we can. And here we are ramping Blackwell, and it's in full production. We'll ship in Q4 and scale it, start scaling in Q4 and into next year. And the demand on it is so great, and everybody wants to be first. Yeah. And everybody wants to be most, and everybody wants to be, and so the intensity is really, really quite extraordinary. Yeah. And so I think it's fun to be inventing the next computer era. It's fun to see all these amazing applications being created. Yeah. It's incredible to see robots walking around. It's incredible to have these digital agents coming together as a team, solving problems in your computer. It's amazing to see the AIs that we're using to design the chips that will run our AIs. All of that stuff is incredible to see. The part of it that is just really intense is just the world on our shoulders, and so sure. So less sleep is fine, and we're 3 solid hours. That's all we need.
Well, good for you. I need more than that. I could spend another half hour. Unfortunately, we've got to stop. Jensen, thank you very much. Thank you for being here and sharing with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
There we go. Absolutely fantastic. What more do you want? So we wrap this video up now with our final thoughts and preparations for FOMC, because between now and then, there is nothing to talk about. I could just take a few days off, because PPI tomorrow will not surprise. It will not be volatile. There'll be some bouncing around, but it won't concern me at all. If we do get some really strange stuff, it's not strange. It's just taking profit, because the market is so strong. The businesses are so strong. We could get a 10% drop. I don't care. I'm not selling anything at all. I kind of hope it does, only because it's just too good and I could buy more. I've got, if I show you here, I've got another another $49,000 worth of buying power using more margin. But I don't want to be any more than 50% margin. That's appropriate, that's correct, and that's enough to make $1 million. So I don't need to buy any more. But if it drops 10%, I can always trim and sell some on the way up. It doesn't really matter, just to bring down the margin. Otherwise, it will take me, at the rate I earn money on YouTube at the moment, it'll take me about 20 years to pay it off if I buy any more. It wouldn't really matter because I'll have today's prices. And if it grows and it doubles and it triples by the end of the decade, and the rates keep coming down and down and down, my margin's going to cost me near nothing. My growth rate's going to be through the roof. It won't matter if it takes me 20 years to pay margin off. I mean, that's why businesses hold debt. But nevertheless, I want to wrap this up by reminding you, do join me for the NVIDIA earnings. I will put the links above. Sorry, not the NVIDIA earnings, the FOMC. Links above and below. Very, very important. I hope you'll all join me for that. I also want to say, and I only wish I could show you, but on my studio, the software that runs the studio, the back end of the production, it doesn't let me show you the windows that give me control. So I can see things that you can't see. And even if I drag them to different screens, it won't let me show you because it doesn't want to show that screen because it's not supposed to. It's supposed to hide those screens that work in the background. But I can tell you, for the first time ever, this is how popular and how big NVIDIA is going to be. The trend is so high. During the making of this video, we've had, and I can share with you so much, but some of the things I can't show you. We have had 1,841 views. All right. There's 302 concurrent watching. The majority of you have watched 100% watch time. The average watch time on YouTube is a couple of minutes. So that's the majority have watched the whole time, but the average is 11 minutes and 28. If you can calculate that, the ones that have left, the third that have left, that makes sense. It's nearly all of you have watched 100%. But the one thing I can't show you, and I only wish I could, and I think it will show on this screen here, look at that. If only I could show you what that actually means. 196 likes, which is just below me, 196 likes, one single down like, 99.5% likes. You appreciate the NVIDIA, you appreciate it's now 200 likes and one down like. Can't thank you enough. I hope this video, this live stream was of help to you. I try to do everything the best I can to provide news, not to sell videos, not to be dramatic. In the next couple of hours, I will put this out as its own video. All I do to edit it is compress the audio so it sounds even tighter. You might notice when you hear the videos as opposed to live streams, it just sounds a bit tighter. That's because I compress the audio and try to make it sound even better. Please look out for it. Because YouTube don't know what to do on a live stream. They can't optimize it the same way. It doesn't earn the same money at all. This video probably earned me $5 to make this. Whereas if you all watch it later, just stick it on mute if you're sick of hearing my voice. It will help me, but it will help you. Because if you all watch it through, let it run all the way through, get 100% engagement rate on the video, which will be out in about 2 hours, just mute it, let it run. Because if 100 people watch it in the first hour, it's called the golden hour, YouTube will suggest it out. The video could get to somewhere about 25,000 views, something like that. And then more people will learn about NVIDIA, buy the stock. Not that I'm trying to get anyone to buy it, but I do like to encourage sound investment, and I believe it's a great company to buy. And if everyone stopped shorting stock, stopped buying Binky Bonk and FFIE and Lucid and rubbish and bought this, they'd all make a lot more money. And then if everybody watched the video, and I might earn a couple $100, which would be nice. And you know what I'll do with it? I'll use it to pay off some margin. So I'd appreciate that if you all want to do it. So click above my head for all the links. Down below in the description, the final score is 213 likes, 2 down likes. The moment you mention it, someone has to go, well, I'm going to down like it just because I want to be different. Reminds me of an ex-girlfriend years ago who didn't want an iPhone. She wanted to be different. So she says, I'm going to get an Android. I went, oh, you mean the other half of the world? No, it's not an iPhone. I said, you want to be different? carve one out of wood, and then you're unique. If you just don't have an iPhone and you want to buy an Android, you're the other half of the world. You're not unique at all. So someone always likes to tap the down like. Anyway, there you go. As unimaginable as you could possibly imagine. Anyway, click above my head, down here, over here, I shall put the event of the last 3 years. I could to the decade, but it's a slight exaggeration. Over here, the FOMC report. And down here, I will put a video from my music channel. I was voted by Sir Elton John as the world piano man, and I'm trying to get people to subscribe to my music channel purely and simply because if I get to 10,000 subscribers, I can turn on charitable giving and raise millions for charity. I've already done it in other ways. I'd like to do it on my music channel. There is the link in the chat. Please do tap the like button. I do appreciate it. That's it from me. Thank you very much indeed. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right. That will go out as a video. Let me just read all the comments that I can. So if you have a comment, you want to get a question answered, this will go out as its own video. Let me just switch over just for a moment to members only, just so I can answer everyone's questions. Okay, we are in members only mode. So if you have a question, a comment, I'm going to put a minute on the clock because I want to get off and put this video out, and it's been a very long day. You have 1 minute. Please do come back, members only, and I would like to answer anyone who got missed out. While you're doing that, let me have a read of a couple of these. So funny to see it jumping around. It's nuts when we have big news coming tomorrow and next week. Yeah, well, it's not really. It's what traders do. See, you can't move the market. They can. So, you know, if you can move the market and make it drop 10%, why not sell it, drop it down, buy it again? If you do that, of course, you end up paying tax, you end up losing, you end up chasing the stock. It doesn't move. You can't control it. That's why it's very different. Buy and hold, sell when you are 60, 70, start living. That's right. That's spot on. In fact, I would never sell. I would rather borrow against my earnings. That's the way I would do it. I wouldn't actually sell at all. I would just borrow against earnings. Thank you, Jerry and Elba. You're very welcome. I will check out home and post Discord I will check out when home and post in Discord if you like. Thank you, Ed Nevius. Always appreciated. William has said, look at Nicola. I haven't got time to review Nicola, but I can just bring it up on the screen if that provides some value to you. I'm happy to do that. Nicola, let's have a look at it. Let me just show you on the screen. One of our members has requested this one. Yeah, the stock is still going down, continually going down. It is potentially a great business. However, it's a great product, not a great business. A great business makes money. A great business is well funded. A great business has control of its debts. It has none of those, but it does have the leader in hydrogen trucks. That is true, but a great product is not a great business, and a great product can go out of business because it never was in business. So I need to do a new review for you, and I know you ask me a lot. You do care about it, so I will take the time to do that, but I just can't do it now as I have to get off. Where can I find Binky Bonk? I think it exists. I just make it up, but I think there is a crypto called Binky Bonk. What a terrific day. I was getting close to a margin call. Oh dear. Never do that. Always manage your risk. And remember, as you get nearer a margin call, it doesn't mean anything. You need to watch my margin call video. Very important. Type Martyn Lucas Investor, margin call, and you'll find it. I have 2 videos for you. As you hit the margin maintenance line, all you got to do is add $1 and you're back up again. People go, oh my God, when I hit the margin line, margin call, it sells all my stocks. I'm doom and gloom. They come round, take my house. It's not how it works at all. Until you understand margin, you should never do it. Never be worried about getting near a margin call. It doesn't work that way. It simply says you need to raise it above the margin line. Maybe it's $1. Maybe you sell 1 share. Maybe you add $1. Doesn't mean you sell everything, lose everything. You just don't stick your head in the sand. You just face it head on and deal with it. It's not always a major problem. So don't be overly stressed about that. All right, people get stressed and they go, "Oh my God, I'm losing all my money." It doesn't work that way. I'm going to let it run while I play Elden Ring. I'm going to let it run while I play Elden Ring. The Rock Historian. You're not even a member, and you're saying a wonderful thing like that. Well, thank you very, very much indeed. It'll be a couple of hours from now. Please do let it play all the way through. Give it 100% watch time. Would be amazing. We want to promote. I say promote the video. I don't promote the stock. I don't own the stock other than through the S&P. But I would like it to do well. I would like people to learn about NVIDIA. That would be good to see, and that would be great. All right. Please subscribe to Martyn's music channel. Thank you, James. We did look at Nicola for you. What about ARMS? ARMS? ARMS. I haven't got time to look at another stock now, Jerry. I've got to go. Binky bonk is such a funny word. It's a real stock though. I believe it's a real crypto asset. Binky bonk. Anyway, it's the world we live in, right? Anyway, very strange. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for being here. I'm now going to get off. Going to send you all now through to the extra channel. If you'd like to keep the family together, keep talking, watch what's going on behind the scenes. You can still talk to me, ask me questions, because I'll be behind the scenes talking to you while I'm editing the video in the extra channel. So let me set it up so it does that. There we go. This is the extra channel. We are live 12 hours a day, so I've got another couple of hours I'll be live here. If you want to join me, there is extra. Let me pin it to the top. Pin the message. There you go. This is what extra looks like. This is me behind the scenes. Whoops, a daisy. There you go. So this is me behind the scenes. I'll be working on the video, talking to you while I'm doing it. That way, if anything major happens, you can alert everybody, let everyone know what's going on. This is the chat. Everyone can tune in. If you can't chat, everyone can see, everyone can listen. If you can't chat, it's because you're not a member. It's a completely separate channel. It's 99 cents to be a member. It's the cheapest I can do it on YouTube. The reason for that is we want a channel where members can talk about stocks and not have it spoiled and messed around with bots and people talking rubbish and all the rest of it. Stacey Bailey, thank you very much indeed. Yes, me and Leah had a Starbucks and a little like a Gouja bun thing, bacon and egg. Thank you so much indeed for that. Very, very kind of you, Leah. Really appreciated it. It was very, very sweet of you. So thank you for that. I really enjoy it. The little Gouja things, very nice indeed. Ivan Silver, just become a member.
Ivan Silver has become a member.
Thank you very much indeed. So the extra channel is a completely separate channel to be a member. If that's what you were doing there, it's 99 cents. You'll be taken there in a couple of seconds. I've got to go. I can upgrade you tomorrow. You've got lots of perks and benefits. The membership is not to give me a tip. It's for me to be able to verify you and provide you with an even better service. There's members-only videos, member live streams, all sorts of stuff. Here is the new member video. Watch all this. This will tell you about everything you need to know. You can then sign up for Discord. Here's the Discord link. You can't see anything until I upgrade you. I'll upgrade you tomorrow, give you access and all the benefits. So join me on a live show and ask me, can I get upgraded? Can you explain the perks? And I'll give you all the benefits. But you can now see all the members' videos and all the rest of it. Lots and lots of services. You can order earnings, reviews, and all the rest of it. So there you go. I'm going to get out of here. Let's roll the credits by simply doing day trader of the day. Who's up? Who's down? I am up. 2.08 members only, please. Little competition we do every day. Not every day, but most days. Let's do it. Let's get out of here. You never heard of the little buns, like a little breakfast, like a little bun thing. It's like a little bun with the bacon and an egg in it. Really nice. Anyway, up 2.08. I usually have a lemon cake, but today I decided to have a sandwich. Anyway, I think you call it a sandwich anyway. Up 2.08. Let's roll the credits. Stars of our show today. New subscribers, Mikhail, Shaik, Play, P, Tassai, Matuz, members, Ivan Silver, and Lawrence Tio gave me a super chat. Thank you very much indeed, Lawrence Tio. There's our stars of our show today. Look at this, some big numbers. I'm up 2.8. Stacey Bailey up 6%. Flipping heck. Look at that. 4.5. Stacey, you need to try scones and jam. Up 7.34. I thought Stacey was going to win, but so God Made a Farmer. Nice to have you back with us. 2 months member now. I hope you saw your video. So God Made a Farmer. I put it out for you. Hope you've seen it. It's been out now for I think a couple of weeks. Let's have a little look. Ooh, lemon cake. Now I have heard of that. Yes. So it looks like God Made a Farmer is our winner, up 7.34. So I'm going to give you the round of applause. Anna, yes, big shout out to Anna. I thanked her when she did it in the extra channel. She gave me a $50 super chat. And that's really nice because I've just had to replace one of our monitors back here, like $799 monitor. So it goes towards that. I really appreciate it. And the monitors are on all the time, and one of them broke, and I had to replace it. So there you go. The studio does cost money from time to time. All right, that's it. So congratulations to God Made a Farmer. Thank you for your honest trades, and a thumbs up to you as well. That's it from me. Let me clear the decks. Let me get out of here. Let me put the end screen on and take you now to the extra channel. Look out for the NVIDIA video. I love saying that. Watch it all the way through. Like it, comment, share. Please do. Watch it all the way through, even if you've seen it, just to help it grow, because everybody watched me make it. So we do need you to watch it. Otherwise, the video won't go anywhere and nobody will know how amazing NVIDIA is. Until next time, as always, I'll see you back in the morning for, of course, PPI. But don't be worried if we get a big drop. See it as, wow, fantastic, even more of a sale. I certainly will, and I certainly will buy some more. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.